Hi everyone, welcome to our discussion on feelings and decision making. Today, we will be exploring how our emotions can influence the choices that we make. First, we will explore two theories about ethics: emotivism and ethical subjectivism. These theories offer different perspectives on how we understand moral judgments and the role of emotions in ethics. Let's start with emotivism. According to this theory, moral judgments are not statements of fact, but expressions of our emotions. When we say something is good or bad, we're not describing an objective truth about expressing our feelings about it. Imagine you say helping others is good. So, according to emotivism, you're not stating a fact about helping others. You are expressing a positive emotion towards it, like saying, I feel happy about helping others. Emotivism suggests that moral judgments are essentially expressions of our attitudes and feelings. Now let's talk about ethical subjectivism. This theory suggests that moral judgments are based on individual or group feelings or attitudes or standards. So, in other words, what is considered right or wrong varies from person to person or group to group. For example, imagine someone says stealing is wrong. So, according to ethical subjectivism, they're not making a statement about stealing's objective morality. Instead, they are expressing their personal feelings or attitudes towards stealing. So, while both emotivism and ethical subjectivism emphasize the role of emotions in ethics, they differ in their understanding of moral judgments. Emotivism sees moral statement as expression of individual emotions, while ethical subjectivism sees them as expressions of personal or group feelings. These theories have important implications for how we understand ethics. Emotivism challenges the idea of objective moral truth, while ethical subjectivism raises questions about the basis of moral judgments and their universality. Emotivism and ethical subjectivism offer a very different perspective on the relationship between emotions and ethics. By exploring these theories, you can actually gain a deeper understanding of how our feelings shape our moral beliefs and judgments. Now, let's talk about the complicated balance between feelings and reason in making ethical decisions. So, question: have you ever had to make a tough decision and felt unsure about what to do? So it turns out our feelings can actually help us in those moments. Some experts believe that our emotions can guide us towards making good choices. But it's not always that simple. Sometimes our feelings can make things complicated. What feels right to one person might feel totally different to someone else. So, how do we know what's the right thing to do? So, here's the key: our emotions can be like a compass pointing us in the right direction. So, like love, empathy, and kindness are all feelings that can help us make wise choices. But we also need to make sure we're being fair to everyone being involved. So let's begin with the notion that feelings can guide us towards making the right decisions. So, in many religious and philosophical traditions, including Christianity, love and joy are emphasized as crucial components of moral living. This suggests that excluding feelings from our moral considerations may contradict our deepest ethical principles. Emotions like disgust, fondness, and fear usually influence our moral compasses. So, for example, our love for family and friends can motivate us to act ethically. So, acknowledging the role of emotion in morality reminds us that rational thinking isn't the sole determinant of what's right or wrong. So, while feelings are important, reason also plays a vital role in moral decision making. Moral judgments should be backed by sound reasoning rather than mere personal preference. Reason helps us distinguish between subjective taste and objective moral truth. So, when we say reason, it is our capacity for logical, rational, and analytical thought. It helps us establish facts, apply logic, and justify our beliefs. Impartiality, on the other hand, requires us to base decisions on objective criteria rather than bias or prejudice. Impartiality demands that we give equal consideration to the interests of all parties involved. It ensures that decisions are fair and just, regardless of personal preferences or biases. Even though some individuals may seem more significant, so impartiality actually reminds us that every person's interests matter equally. Now let's talk about thinking things through. Making good decision means taking the time to look at all the facts and considering how our choices will affect others. So to navigate moral dilemmas effectively, we can actually use a seven-step moral reasoning model. So we have gathering the facts, determine the ethical issues, identify relevant principles, list alternative courses of action, compare alternatives with principles, weigh the consequences, and make decision. Courage is essential for executing rational and moral decisions. It involves doing the right thing, even in the face of inconvenience or risk. Willpower enables us to act decisively on our moral convictions and overcome obstacles. Developing moral and will requires self discipline, mental strength training, drawing inspiration from courageous individuals, and practicing acts that exhibit moral courage. So, avoiding deeds that show a lack of moral courage and will is equally important. So, the bottom line there is the interplay between feelings and reason is very crucial in moral decision making. By acknowledging the influence of emotions and implying rational thought, we can navigate ethical dilemmas with integrity and compassion. So, thank you for joining me today as we talk about the dynamic relationship between feelings and reason in moral decision making. Remember, embracing both emotions and rationality can lead to more informed and ethical choices in our lives. Have a great day.